Everyone was just barking a couple minutes ago. I hope everyone's quiet for this live stream. Okay. Hi everyone. I'm connecting us live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And I think, let's see, if people can put in the comments if they can hear me. I just have to check and make sure we're live in all three places. Let's see. Let's see if anyone comments if they can. All right, we're live on Facebook. Let me check our Instagram, our YouTube. Let's see. I don't know if the YouTube is live. Let me check. Let me check if our Instagram is live. Hopefully someone will pop in some comments. Let's see. Spencer, you're so... I don't think it's live on Instagram. Let me, shoot. Let me, you know what, everybody, I have to stop this and go back and restart it because it's not on Instagram. Wait, is it live on Instagram? You are live. It says we're live on Instagram. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Sorry for the messy start here. I'm about to bring Nami from Pawprint Bridge onto the screen. She is an animal communicator. And then, oh, you know what? In the comments, I'm going to drop in her website. So if you are interested to learn more about animal communication and what Nami does, you can check it out. So I'm going to bring Nami on the screen right now. Hi, Nami. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Kathy.
Hi, happy Sunday.
You for having me. Happy Sunday.
So thank you for doing this, Nami. For those that don't know, Nami is one of our volunteers, but she also has a business. She's a professional animal communicator, and she's been doing this for a while, and she's very good. And she donates once a month an animal communication that we raffle off. So if anyone wants to participate in the raffle, go to iHeartCockerSpaniels.com and you can buy your raffle tickets. We have a jar with all the tickets, and then we pull a ticket from the jar every month. And then your ticket stays in the jar, you know, ongoing. What? Mabel is discussing something. Mabel said, hi, Nami. Explain this to Spencer. Anyway, so our raffle winner this month is Stephanie, and Stephanie sent Nami her questions and a picture of the dog that she wanted her to communicate with. And then, Nami, do you want to explain how it works? Because it's a 2-hour process for you, right?
Yes. So for the initial communication, I like to spend a lot of time to understand deeper, to connecting with them. So my initial communication would be 120 minutes on the initial communication. And the first time I communicate with the animals, I prefer to honor their time and then create a safe space for them so they are more comfortable sharing with me their personal information. So I usually begin introducing myself and then letting them know who are sent me to communicate. And they become more comfortable if they know their guardians have sent me. And I start with like easy question, like, how are you doing? You know, what's your favorite things? It's all positive question. I like to bring it up and then have them talk to me first. So like, I'll say like, tell me about yourself. And so my role is to listen, not to interrogate, you know, asking all the questions. So it's kind of similar to meeting new person. And then, you know, you at the party, like I always like to say, you know, like
if you meet a stranger at a party, you don't interrogate them right away. Tell me, I have questions for you, and you have to answer. You let the person like sort of get to know you, and you know.
Right. Then you know.
That's good. So that's what you do for the first 60 minutes. You meditate and you connect to the animal through you look at their photo.
Yes.
And then the second 60 minutes of the communication is when you work with the client, and you usually do it
Yes.
like on Zoom.
Yes.
And then you tell the client, here's all the questions that you had me ask your animal, and here's what they said. And then you do back and forth with
Back
the
and
client,
forth.
because
Yes.
you're already connecting with their animal. Oh,
So
and
they're
then
always waiting. Yes.
so I think our raffle winner, Stephanie, you're communicating with her dog that passed away. So explain how you can communicate with animals that are already over the Rainbow Bridge.
So it's very, very similar. It's hard to, to explain sometimes, but I always like to explain, like, think of energy like water that can change forms, right? So when
Right.
it vibrates slowly, it's, solidify into ice. And then when it's vibrate faster, it becomes liquid like water.
Yeah.
And then, speed them up the vibration even more, and then it transforms into steam. And then, it's eventually water vapor. But even like
Right.
after animal passed away, their energy persists, although in a different forms. It's like the water changing to the mist, and you won't be able to see it, but it's there. You never, they never disappears. So it's the
Yeah.
same thing. So the essence it still exists. It's just the change in the form, so we won't be able to see it. So
Yeah.
it's all about the energy. How I always like to explain to people like how animal communication works. It's all energy, like our brain transfer into the word, and that's how we understand the language of each other. So I like to go into their frequency, like the radio frequency, so I match their frequencies, I can hear clearly. So it's the same thing, but it's a little bit more, the vibration is much more higher, so you kind of have to adjust their frequency, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you were studying, you were going to animal communication school and studying for 2 years. You would practice on the Camp Cocker dogs, and it was so fun to learn how you were getting better at it, because you explained that animals communicate with you in 3 ways. One is they put images. They're sharing images like a slideshow.
Yes.
So like a flashing of images. So like, let's say a dog was in an animal shelter, they might flash you images of what they're seeing outside of the kennel. Or and then animals communicate with you through scent, odor. I remember one time when I was just starting to foster my dog Mabel, she was freaked out about something, and you communicate with her, and you got a whiff of alcohol, and it was frightening her, and I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, what? I don't drink. I don't have alcohol in my house. And then I figured out what it was. I use alcohol wipey pads when I get a to-go cup, and I had used an alcohol wipey pad around the Starbucks cup, and the odor scared her. And then from some past memory of the scent of alcohol.
Right.
And then the third way you explain that animals communicate with you is they send you a feeling in your body. So like if a dog has a broken arm, you'll get just a quick, like a pain in your
it's very quick sensation that I receive. It could be some aches or like sharp pain, just nerve pain, but it doesn't stay. So how I know which is from my pain versus the animals showing me or letting me feel their body, it's very quick. So it doesn't stay in my body. So, of course, we have like tight neck and all that, it's chronic issue, right? For everybody.
One second.
There.
My volunteer is pulling. My volunteer just pulled her car into my driveway, and I had to open the garage door. And you're going to hear barking when she walks in. So I am going to quickly bring our raffle winner on and mute myself and exit, because the barking's about to start here. Let's welcome Stephanie. Stephanie, welcome. Thank you for entering your and I'm gonna get out of here so you and Nami I want to watch this, so I can't wait to hear what happened. So, okay,
Yes.
I will see you guys soon, and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Stephanie, good seeing you. Okay, all right. Are you excited?
I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. This is Pippa, my 13-year-old, and she was bonded with Lukey. So
yes, Pippa. Oh my gosh, she's so sweet, right? I mean, she's so gentle. She's very sweet. That's what the Lukey told me about her. Okay, so I had a wonderful time talking to Lukey. I mean, he's here, as always I explain, like he's here, he's so excited, he's already wagging tail, so excited. So I'm going to share with you what Lukey told me about, because you already gave me all the questions you wanted to ask. But of course, this is all coming from Lukey's perspective, right? So if something it doesn't resonate, it doesn't ring a bell, you can always stop me and then let me know. Just because sometimes when the Lukey show me some image, I may translate it a little bit different how he wants us to explain to me. And then so if you can stop me, then I can go back and ask him, hey, what's this mean? Is it true? And then that's how we're gonna do our conversation session here. Is it good?
That's great. There he is. Yes.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my note. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, here we go. So as I tune into him, he immediately kind of gave me a house, like a ooh, and I was excited. And he started jumping, and he started wagging his fluffy tail. Did he used to howl and barks at the same time? Kind of.
He would go. He would almost like a yawn that turned it. He would go like that. Yes, that was how he loved to talk that way. Yes, and when it wagged, it went like a helicopter propeller.
Yes, he was wagging his fluffy tail, and he started. It was really cute. So he started prancing around like almost like a horse, like a. Did he do that like when he gets excited?
He had bounds of energy. We don't know exactly what kind of spaniel he was, but he was definitely part Springer. So he just had a lot of spring to him, a lot of jumping and rolling. He was a very lively.
Yes. So he was like springing, jumping, and howling, walling, talking. It was very expressive, right? So I created my mental image and told him that his mom sent me here to talk to him. And he was just very, very excited. He said he couldn't wait to communicate with me. So he kept trying to show me everything. He's like, oh, whoa, wait. I have to kind of slow him down because he was just so excited. Then again, he started hopping around, howling and jumping. And then he says he has been waiting for me because he knew that someone would come to talk to him soon. So he was just so excited. And he expressed how thrilled that he was to reconnect with his family and deliver his messages. He said he has a lot to say. As I connected with him, the tears wells up in my eyes. I just felt so much love from him. And he told me that he loves you, his family so much. Then his motel again. He was just so excited. And I told him, your family loves you so much and misses you deeply. Do you know that? He replies, he's like, of course, like, I love you guys. And I told him, Pippa misses you, kissing and cleaning her face and ears every morning. Do you know that? He goes, yes. He said that was one of my job, he said, to take care of Pippa. And he shared that he had so many responsibilities in the house, caring for everyone, and he was so proud to be in charge of a family. Does that make sense?
He was absolutely in charge. He was that makes perfect sense. Yes,
He was
the boss of
busy.
the family. Yes.
Yes. So then I asked him to tell me about himself and his favorite memories with your family, so they will know that I'm truly connecting with their beloved Luki. So from here, this is what he explained to express himself. Okay, so he again, his tail never stopped. Like he just keep wagging his tail,
Yep.
and he wagged his tail. Said that he was very smart. He said very, very expressive, and he really loved everyone. He was like, the way he explained to me was really funny. So he was like kind of like a helicopter mom, and then busy taking care of everyone. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. And that makes sense. Taking care. Yeah.
like I have to do this. I have to take care of mom. I have to take care of dad.
Yeah.
People. Kids. So he said like I was so busy, like a helicopter mom. He says when he was a younger puppy, like a younger dog, he said he admits that he was a little bit rambunctious and out of control sometimes. Do you remember that?
We didn't have him as a little puppy. We rescued him when he was probably about maybe 1.5. So we don't,
Yes.
but when we got him, he was, I mean, yeah, he was, but he wasn't crazy. He was always so smart.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he said he was a little bit rambunctious. He said he had so much energy.
Yeah.
And he says he likes to keep everyone busy. And he believes that it was also his job to entertain everyone and then make them smile. So he said, he was doing crazy, young puppy things that makes you guys smile and they keep you occupied. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he used to roll a lot, and it just made us laugh all the time. He would roll anywhere. He was just, yes.
Yes. He says that when he first met mom and then the family, he just knew he was meant to be with you. When he was a young, he, back then, he didn't remember why and how, but he said now he knows because he, transitions, so he sees everything, he remembers everything. So now he said he knows. And then he said he recalls that when he joined his family, everyone was going through kind of rough times. That's how he felt it. And he said he felt like he needed something to keep them preoccupied. So something's more positive to fun, rather than getting caught up in like a negativity or busy lifestyle. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's how he felt.
It does make sense. We got Lukey the year that my father-in-law died. So I think maybe that has something to do with it.
Yes. So so that's why he said, he just knew back then, even when he was younger self, he just knew that his job is to, make everyone happy and smile and preoccupied.
Yep.
And that's what he was doing, he said.
Yep.
So he said he did his best to entertain everyone by, zooming around, hopping, rolling, chewing things, like just to make you happy and smile, he said. He says, Pipa, according to him, so you can let me know what you think, but he says that Pipa kind of take care of dad and then Jacob, but Lukey took care of you and then Kyle. And that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
Pippa takes
That's what.
Pippa takes care of me too, but
yes.
and Lukey was Kyle's dog and my soul dog, and Pippa is my heart dog. So
yes. I mean, everyone had the same job, but
yeah,
more of that. They had kind of conversation. Pippa knew what she's supposed to do, and then Lucy knew, okay, Pippa, you take your dad, and then, Jacob, I'll take your mom and Kyle, that kind of stuff they did.
Right.
And then he says that he loved people so much, and he said he was a very great greeter, but he also made sure to protect the family so they will feel safe. He says that he will never bite people or dogs, but he was pretty good at to kind of scaring them off. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, his bark was worse than his bite. Yeah, he would kind of come off, especially if he was on a walk. He was not real nice to other dogs.
Right? It's like,
Yeah.
It's just a very vocal. And then
Yeah.
he said, like, he doesn't mean to, bite or anything. Like, he's not aggressive, but he was very good at kind of scaring them off.
That's very accurate. Yes.
Yes.
He did a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, he said with his deep, kind of loud bark, and he could sound kind of intimidating. Sometimes he says,
Yes.
and he was smiling while he said, because he said he was very proud of that.
Yes. He was a good watchdog for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said he was very vocal and very expressive. He has that, like, he had using different tones and then barking style to communicate. Does it make sense? Like, he's very expressive.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Yes.
Yes. He said when warning a stranger or other dogs outside the house, he would often kind of jump up or like make himself look really big just to warn them.
He would jump right up the top, be on the top of this couch, which looks out to the front. So he would be right up there, making himself big.
Making himself big like a bear, That's how he was doing, he says. He said also although he took his security job very seriously to keep everyone safe, he was always friendly towards other animals and people once he gets to know them.
Yep.
Is it true? Yes.
Yeah.
He said he loved attention, and he said people always complimented him on his good behavior when visitor comes over. Like, he was very good, well behaved. Yes.
Yeah.
He says even like in the public situation, like the way how he was showing me, like even the vet office or like in the public, he said the people would often admire how handsome he was, and that he loved showing off his beauty in the public setting. Like, he really loved to hear like a compliment. He's like, okay, that's what he was saying. He says, he says that he loved giving kisses to everyone. He was like, he really loved to lick. Is it true?
Yeah, that is true. Yes.
He was a licker.
Yeah.
He said he got even more excited when, to me, it was like more of a Kyle, but like also the Jacob. But he said he gets even more excited when Kyle or Jacob smiles in response to his kisses and tickles. Like, he gets really excited. Yeah. And he especially loved climbing on top of a Kyle, like showering him with like kisses. Like, if that makes sense.
That was sort of their after school ritual, was they would sit on the couch together, and he would and then he would kind of just lay with him, but he definitely was loving on him so much. Yes.
He said he just loved that. It just loved that moment. He says every morning he made sure everyone was happy and smiling. He says he was always busy taking care of his family.
Yes.
He loved cuddling with mom, everybody pretty much, but like mom. And then he also staring at mom, making sure to send her healing energy. Do you recall he like often stares at you?
Those big spaniel eyes, and he would come at night. He would I would call him up in bed, and he would lay right there at my, and then just like it was like a calming force. Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. He said he often stares and wags his tail whenever he follows mom, or like even you look at him. Like if you have eye contact with me, it's like, oh hi.
Yep.
It's just right. It's like, oh hi. He was just so excited to
Yep.
just be loved and giving your love and healing energy. He says.
Yeah. He was very Velcro, especially for years. He was kind of sick when we first got him, and he got better pretty quickly. But if I was leaving the room, he would always leave the room. Like he would never stay. So
right, he always holds you. He was like kind of little shadow. You're right. He said he played with the people a lot, and when they played, like kind of like engaging in goofy, mouthy, wrestling, like then they played together a lot. Do you remember?
Yeah, he almost played with her just to satisfy, like I don't know that he loved it, but I think he did it because he knew she loved it. So he just sort of did it to make her happy. Yeah.
Yes. He says also he had a great respect for Pippa. She was like kind of like a big sister to him. So he says, like, as a token of appreciation, he always groomed her, like, because that makes sense.
Yeah, and every morning, every night, mostly in the morning, he cleaned her eyes and her ears every single morning. Yeah.
Yes. He says he didn't really do that grooming thing as much with Ellie.
Right.
Because right. It's only more Pippa. Yeah. He says because of the time she hadn't yet earned his respect. She was right.
Maybe yes. That makes so much sense. Yes.
He felt responsible for teaching Ellie how to behave and respect the family, but it was a little bit difficult because Ellie was too young, and then also often she did her own things. Like she had her own world of Ellie world. That makes sense.
Yes. Uh-huh. No, that makes a lot.
So he said it was a little bit.
Yes, he tried to keep her in line, and he did it okay. He did a good job, but puppies have their own minds. So
right, so Ellie had her own world, so it was a little bit difficult. He said. So he also says that mornings and evenings were a bit busy because he needs to take care of everyone. But during the daytime, he said when he could finally kind of relax and have his own like a me time, he said he was like really like a mom, the way how he explained his life. Does that make sense? Like I have a little bit of my me time. He says,
yes.
He really enjoyed like chewing things. The way how he showed me, he was holding, I'm not sure if it's the stick or something that he could chew on, and he can be very obsessed with it. Do you know which one he's talking about?
No, he actually wasn't much with the toys. He was more with his people. So that one I can't think of anything.
So during the daytime, so when he's alone, so he said he was chewing on things, but it could be he was did he ever like lick his paw or chew? So he was like doing this.
Paws. He did lick his paws. And he could have chewed on some of the toys when we weren't home, but he wasn't.
But it's it wasn't a toy, but like to me it was either stick or something, like he was doing this.
Okay.
And he was doing this.
Oh,
so it could be the paw.
Yeah, it sounds like his paws. Yeah.
Yeah, so he said he could get very obsessed with it, and he was doing.
Okay.
So that was his like soothing, relaxed me time. He said.
Okay.
He says he always listened to what mom said, he was a very, very good boy.
Yes.
He understood every word mom says people said to him. Yeah. He loved following mom around because he felt it that it was his job to help mom. Yes, makes sense.
Yeah.
So he said if mom was busy and if you told him to take care of the kids, he would always go to the boys and then entertain them. He said he was very proud of to take care of them. He was
Yeah.
really good at it. That makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. He was great at it. And when I would go out of town, he would go sleep with Kyle, and
Yeah.
he was a
Yes.
very good caretaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. He says Kyle at the time really, really needed a best friend. And he believed that Kyle was his buddy. So they're like a buddy, yeah. He said he spent a lot of time with him. He also knew that Jacob sometimes needed his own space. So he always made sure to give him that. If that makes sense?
Yeah, that makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. Yeah.
Yes, yes. When Jacob was busy and then Kyle felt a little lonely, he would make sure to spend time with Kyle, he says.
Yeah.
He loved playing with him and going out for walks with boys. He says that he felt more confidence when he went out with the boys, but when he walked with mom, he became a little bit more protective. Do you recall that?
Yeah, 100%. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
He yeah, like when he go for walks with the boys and dad, like he's like, hey, we're a pack, boys. Yeah, but when he's walking with the mom, he's like,
He's always on alert. Yeah.
yeah,
I get that. I get that.
yeah. He said he always really loved rubbing his body against to like sofa, bed, like rugs, like rolling over. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
He said especially when he was wet and dirty. He said sometimes mom wasn't too happy about it, but he just couldn't help it himself. He said it
Yep.
was so much fun. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. When it was
Yeah,
raining,
he's
we were
like,
out playing, he would come. But after a bath, he was just constantly like rolling around. It was funny.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
He said it was just so much fun.
Mm.
He showed me. Okay, so he showed me the image of a water. Said that he really enjoyed running near it.
The pool.
That, right? Yeah, because image to me was the pool. And he says Pippa and Ellie also liked water. Is it true?
Pippo loves water. He would not go in it. He would go protect us. He would go around it. Yeah. Yeah.
But he loves like zooming around. The way the image that he showed me was like everyone's like zooming around. Like
Yeah.
to
He
me
would
it was a pool, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yes. And then they just really loved it. He also loved feeling the wind and then smelling the air. To me, he was in the car, but do you recall that he like really likes smelling it, the air?
Yeah, I think, being somewhat some kind of spaniel bird dog, he would do that, cock his head and sniff up the air. Yes. Yes, he
Yes,
did.
yes, yes. So he said he really loved that.
Mhm.
He also loved his big family. He said, he had a big family, and he got extra excited when everybody get together and then go places. But he says that ever since he joined the family, everyone has been smiling and happy. So he was patting his shoulders like, I'm so proud.
He did a good job. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he said he did a really good job. Like, I did a really good job.
Yep.
He didn't care if he went to special places. He said as long as he saw everyone smiling, and that was all that mattered. He said.
Yeah.
The only thing he truly cared about was making sure his family was happy. So it's just, sometimes some dogs show me like a specific places or the memory, like that they wanted to share. But a lot of things that he's sharing with me is just the smile of you and Kyle's dad, Jacob. Like he just keep watching just to make sure, okay, everyone's smiling. All right, good, I'm happy. So that
Yeah.
was his memory. Oh, make me cry. But that was the happy moment he wanted to share. He loved you so much. Sorry. Yeah. He says he was a bit vocal when you were preparing the food. He said he really loved.
We tried to make him good food. Yes.
Yes, he said he's showing. Okay, so I asked him a couple times, but like he was just smiling, and I wasn't too sure. But he showed me an image of a big chunk of steak. I don't know if you ever gave it to him. He said it was absolutely was his favorite.
So the dogs, all my dogs have been on a raw diet. So they would get in the morning like a pork neck, a raw pork neck, and just eat the bone and everything. So that was, he loved that, and he loved chicken wings, raw chicken wings, and so yes, he loved food. Yeah.
Right, it's just the meat he really loved. He said he was such a foodie and he'll never turn down any food, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah, so if he doesn't eat something that's very something wrong.
Yeah.
Because right, so he just loves to eat.
Yeah.
He says that he admitted that, I'm not too sure if you remember, he said he was also kind of good at stealing the food. Do you recall he had done it before? Not always.
Yeah, a couple times he used to. Ellie. He used to. Hold on. Ellie.
That's okay.
He used to climb up on the dining room table if anyone left anything, and he would jump on a chair and then take the chair and jump onto the table.
Yes. So he said, he was like, I'm not supposed to do, but I was kind of good at it. He said.
Scrappy, yes.
Yeah. He said, like, when he does, like, he will gobble down his meal, just to make sure, he kind of like make sure like mom doesn't notice. He said he was really good at it. He also said he gobbled down his meal very quickly, didn't wait for Pippa to finish since she was much slow eater. Do you recall?
Yeah, they're both fast eaters. They both gobbled. Yeah, they're both gobblers. Yes.
But they're almost like competing, like.
Yes.
That makes sense.
I had to stand between them to make sure they didn't go for each other's. Yes.
Yeah, but he was always hoping, like, I'm gonna gobble down before Pippa, so like he can lick, on the bowl or leftover.
Yeah.
And then he said he loved licking up any leftovers. Would often keep licking his empty bowls for a while after each meal, to make sure he gets every last bit of a taste.
Yes, 100%. That's so right.
He said he also liked to let you know that he was still hungry by licking the empty bowl.
Yeah.
And then he said, hoping that someone in the family would mistakenly feed him again if he pretended he had never been fed. Does that make sense?
He's very smart. Yes.
Yeah. So he was like, oh my God, like my bowl is empty. I'm so hungry. Like, so, he was doing that. He said it was very intentionally. He said he was doing that. So he's very smart. When he was younger, he said he really liked being chased. So almost like he was, I don't know, he really liked to not necessarily escape, but he really enjoyed being chased. Do you remember that?
I mean, maybe with Pippa, they would run around the house together. So that might be.
Yes. He said he really loves to be chased.
Okay.
And then he said because he was so proud of like how fast he can run and jump. So
Yes.
he's like, catch me if you can. And then that's something he really,
Yeah.
that's really he enjoyed. He said when he matured, he learned not to do that as much. And then, he was little, more mellowed down a bit, but he always active, and he's always kind of springy, kind of very energetic, he says.
Yeah. And
Right.
got sick, he would still jump on the back of here, so.
Yeah, he could really jump, right?
Yeah.
He says he always made sure to help you fall asleep.
Yes.
He would, yeah, that was his job. He says he would stay by your side until you drifted off. Sometimes he would sleep in like another spot, but he always stays close at night and in the morning, so you would feel safe. So he was like making sure you put to sleep. Yeah.
He would come right up here, and then I'd kind of drift off, and then he'd go down by my knee. Yeah. But
Yes. So yeah, I mean, he was like mom, like really taking care of
super
you.
mom. Yes.
Right, super mom. Yes. So at this part, this is where he explained to me about himself. So Stephanie, sounds like you are Lukey to you?
That sounds exactly like my boy.
Okay.
Like I said, he was my soul dog. He was
Yes.
He was so smart. He was so sweet. He was definitely everything you said about him, wanting to make sure that we were all okay. And
yes. He was, helicopter mom. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. So then I asked him, Mom and the family want to know how you are doing in the spirit world. Are you safe? He says yes. He goes like, look at me, like I'm jumping, I'm running, like prancing. He said like, look at me, like I'm like younger again, like I'm happy. He said I'm safe. Then he says when he left his body, someone he had he kind of, the way how he explained, he wasn't really knowing this person, but the way how he explained, it was a person that welcomed him.
Okay.
This person had a male energy to him. He says it was someone mom knew, and it's possibly your relative, your father's side, but someone. He said this person, so it could be your spirit guide. Everyone has a spirit guide.
Right.
He says this person always trying to watch over you, Stephanie, and then protect you. So the image he was given to me wasn't clear, because once they ascended, a lot of time you only see the lights, but the way how he showed me was this soul had little darker curly hair and a little bit of a beard, and he wanted to show me kind of like a Western style, like a string tie. He had on it. So I don't know, but it could be your relative, it could be grandfather, but somebody. He said
my grandfather had dark curly hair, wavy hair. The Western part,
like a tie.
yeah, like a polo tie type thing. Yeah, that wasn't my I'll have to think about that one. Yeah,
but it might come back to you.
Yeah.
It's always, so just be open, but it might coming back to you like a few days later or a week later. But yeah, so this person welcomed him. He said that this person made sure that Luki gets to adopted by mom. He says this person also loved the dog, looks like a Luki. So you kind of have to think about that.
I think I know. So well, when my dad was little, they used to give away puppies on radio shows. So my dad went and saw the Abbott and Costello show, and they took them and they interviewed them, and they gave them a little black cocker spaniel named Lightning with the little white patch here. And you know, this was back when people didn't really do a good job of training their dogs, and the dog was hit by a car. But my dad was, but I wonder if my grandfather, my dad's father, like that seems like
to be, yes,
yeah.
Because to me it was like your size of, you know, like grandfather. That's how I felt. But so he's with him right now, he says.
That's a good person to be with. Yeah.
Yes. So he's happy, you know, he's very safe. Then I asked him, is your pain gone? He said yes, of course. He said he doesn't feel any pain. His body is now filled only with love. He said, like, he's just so happy. He said, you know, he just feel really light, and he's very happy. He doesn't have any pain, he said. So he said, don't worry. Then I asked, sometimes Mom mentioned that you visit Mom and Kyle in their dreams, and that they really love your visit. He says he is still trying to entertaining you and help you, especially after you had a rough day. So he tried to visit you and Kyle in the dreams to make sure you wake up with happy memories and a smile. So that's what he does. Then I told him, the mom told me that you were on rescue. They got it in 2013. They never knew how old you were or what your history was. Can you share any of your backstory? He says, when he was a still younger puppy, he said when he met you was a little over a year old. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
He said he remembers living outside with his dog Mom and the siblings. But really sad that he showed me the sad energy. He says that his dog Mom and the sibling couldn't make it and left their earth. So, but he was able to survive. He said someone found him and took him to the place, and to me is a shelter. Then they got the the people got him. He says he made sure to be as cute as possible, so you would pick him.
Yep, he was. Yes.
Right, he was so cute. He was freaking cute, he says. But yeah, so he just knew it was all meant to be, because now he understands everything. But because your grandfather just wanted to make sure that you pick him, so it was all created by the universe and your grandfather. But so he just the only thing he remembered that I need to make sure I have to be really cute, so make sure the mom picked me. So that was his mission, but at the time, right? And then he said now he understands that his soul, who is with him in the spirit world, helped guide him to unite it with you. He says that when you met him, the family was going through a little rough time, especially Mom. So he was sent to help you heal and take some of the pressure off from you, he says. Then I said, Mom, Dad, especially Kyle, want you to come back to them as another dog someday, and they can't wait to see you again. Do you have any plan to reincarnate? Can you tell us more details about your plan? Because sometimes they have a plan, right? Okay, so he says he hopes you will completely stop blaming yourself for his passing. He says, Stephanie, he knows that you have wondered that did we miss the sign of his illness, or you ever wonder, was there anything else we could have done to help him live longer? He said that you still kind of wonder sometimes. You ever? So he says It was not your fault. He said his purpose in this life was fulfilled, and it was his time to return to his spirit world. He said it was his pleasure to help heal you and to be Kyle's best friend and to bring love to the family. And he says he has no regret in his life. He also wants Kyle to believe in himself, to know that he has the ability to care for others and to trust that he can help keep a family together, just as Luki did. He said if Kyle can believe in himself and have confidence, he said he will come back to you. He said just make sure he just watching, make sure you guys can promise that he says. He also shares that when he returns, he would like to have a little bit of a brown fur like a Pipa. He says, but still keep some of his white hair around the chest, he says, because he admired Pipa so much and he kind of wanted to be matched with her colors. So not so much black, he says. He wants kind of golden brown color to him. He says.
Kind of like Milo, right? You know?
Yes. But that makes sense. But that's his wish. So he said that's why you will know when he returned. He said, okay. All right, sorry, I'm trying not to cry and emotional, but he just loves you guys so much. Okay, so then lastly, I asked for any message to your family members. Okay, so first I asked Pipa to say if he has any comments on Pipa. He says he loves Pipa so much and deeply appreciate everything she told him. He admires her kind and warm heart. Her energy is so gentle and easygoing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
She's so easy, right? She's perfect, right? Yeah. So Pipa helped him kind of release some of his crazy, energy he had. He said when he was younger, and it told him to be gentle with others. He says the only reason he groomed her every morning was because he respected her so much. He loved cuddling and sleeping next to her. He always making sure Pipa looks clean and beautiful. That was his job. He said he wanted her to so he says he wants her to take care of her hips. And he noticed sometimes it aches. I don't know if that's something noticed, but he noticed it.
Okay.
Yes. So that was a message to Pipa. And then for Ellie, he says, Ellie has improved so much in learning to respect others. Although she still has a lot to learn, she loves doing her own things and hasn't yet taken on the roles of uniting the family, but that's okay. He says Ellie's just being Ellie. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. Yes.
Yeah. Just Ellie, just being Ellie. He says he wishes he could have stayed longer to teach her better manners, but he feels relieved that knowing the Pipa has been able to teach her a lot. So that was a message for Ellie. Okay, so message to Jacob. He said he loves Jacob so much, and he said he truly believes that he is incredibly smart and a brilliant boy. He says Jacob is a talented artist. The way how he's great as an artist. And he also mentioned that Jacob is very skilled with hands. The way how he explained to me, it was like a handyman. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, he helps his dad with stuff, so that kind of makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yes. He said that he believes that once Jacob put his mind to something that he can achieve amazing things in life. Although the Jacob wasn't always very talkative, Loki said that he could deeply understand his energy and emotion, more like a telepathically, and they had a connection, he said.
Yep.
Yes. And then the message to Kyle. He says that he loves Kyle so much and hopes he remembers the promise they made in the dream. He said he made a promise to him, something. Only they know.
Okay.
He said Loki reassured Kyle that he will come back to reincarnate. But he wants Kyle to believe in himself. He knows that Kyle sometimes feel lonely and then a little empty inside. That's how he felt. He says he wants him to remember that Loki is always with him and will never leave him. He said he will love he will love him forever. Loki wants Kyle to take care of everyone in the family and then be the glue that holds them together, just like Loki was when he was on the earth. He believes that one day Kyle will become someone who takes care of people in need, and he can't wait to witness when he reincarnates. Okay, so next message to Dad. He says he loves Dad so much, even though Dad has always preferred a bigger dog like Goldens. I don't know, is it true?
Probably a little bit, yeah.
But he said Luki knows that he cares for him deeply. He said Luki admires Dad's kind of happy, very optimistic, kind energy, he says. Luki always felt safe and relaxed when Dad was home because he knew that will protect everyone. He says Dad had a very loud laugh, kind of booming voice. I don't know if it's true. And then, and it was always like funny. And then also he said he snored like
he
loud.
He snored? Yeah.
He snored.
Yes. That is.
He says he said it was sometimes too loud.
Yep.
But he said when Dad was away, he really misses his snoring, like loud noises.
Yeah. Get used to it after.
He said Luki noticed that Dad sometimes get headaches or like a little tension, which come from tension in the neck, he said. So he also tend to have too much kind of heat in upper body, he said. While his lower body kind of feet gets a little cold. I don't know if that's something he noticed, but the Luki noticed it.
Okay.
So he said, Luki suggested kind of like a jumping, a hopping.
Okay.
More to improve the circulation.
Okay, we'll work on that. That's good. Good medical advice for me.
Yes. So that's his advice.
Yes.
Okay. So lastly, so this is a message to you, Mom. He said that he loves you so much. He says you can feel him when he visits you. It's true?
Yeah.
Yes. He said he used to use his paw to get your attention. And then now when you feel something on your leg while you're standing in the kitchen or kind of sensing on your right arm, which he is visiting, he said he's here. He's like, hey, Mom, I'm here. He said he's always sending you a healing energy. And he's always staring at you and sending the energy, he says. He wants you to know how much he appreciates all the love and the care you gave to the family and to him, of course. He said that he promises that he will come back to you, but he asks you not to blame yourself for his passing. He says he is so grateful that he got to spend the happiest days of his life with you, that he knows that you will not you will be heartbroken to see him suffer for too long. He said that was a good thing. It's just like it happened very quickly. He said he didn't suffer. He wants to reassure you that he didn't feel sick at all until the very last day. His life with you was the best. He said it was a perfect. He said, thank you for saving me. He says, sorry. Oh, I try not to cry, man. He said, thank you for saving me. He said, now it's my turn to save you, Mom, from your guilt. He says, Mom tends to be hard on yourself, often blames herself, or like have a little self-doubt for things. He says, don't worry, I'm here. He says, he wants you to let go of the guilt, so he can coming back to you again. So that was a message from him. Sorry, Stephanie, I try.
I love it. Thank you.
Oh yes, but that was a message from Lukey. Okay, so anything you want me to ask him? Because he's wagging his tail. Anything if you wanted to ask him, or
I think I just want him to know how much we feel so lucky that he came to us, and that we love him every day and we miss him every day. And I do feel that he's here, and I feel that even this is Ellie, who does, as we've said, does her own thing. She's gonna photobomb the camera, but even she, sometimes I feel like he's still working on her. Far, and you know, we couldn't be luckier than. I guess I want to know if he thinks, you know, like, you know, does he hear when? So Kyle's written some songs about him, and I wonder if he hears them, if he knows that they're meant for him. Does he know that?
Yes, he said, of course. He said he's always watching him. He said, just believe in your talent. You know, he knows. Just that's why I keep saying, like, believe in yourself. You're good. Yes, he's always there, and then watching, and then he hears the song. Yes, he said yes. He said he knows everything.
Okay, well, you tell him that he then already knows how much we love him, and that we can't wait for him to have a visit with us again. Thank you.
Yes.
This was so awesome, so perfect. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Okay, I guess Kathy can come in back.
Hi. I did not know I was going to be crying this morning.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes,
Stephanie,
he loves you.
Where'd you adopt Lukey from?
I adopted Lukey from Perfect Pet Rescue on Venice Boulevard in kind of West Los Angeles, and it was such a funny story, and it makes sense that Nami said he really worked hard to get us to get him, because we had lost my father-in-law earlier that year, and then we lost one of our dogs like a month later from the same thing. They both had lymphoma, and we'd always told Kyle that he would get to pick his own dog when he was 10, because we got Pippa when Jacob was 10. And one night Kyle came in our room just sobbing, and he was like, I can't wait till I'm 10 to have my own dog. I have to have my own. I'm 6. And we were both like, okay. So, but Kyle, as you could guess, is a very old soul. And we spent weekends going to shelters and looking, and he would look at a dog and he would kind of be like, I'll think about it. And then we saw a little spaniel mix at the Burbank pound, and I'd seen it on Pet Finder, and I went to go see her and thought she was really cute. And then the next day, it was a Saturday, and I brought the boys to see her and to think about getting her, and she'd already been rescued like earlier that first thing that morning. So a couple weeks later, I'm on Pet Finder, and I think I see the same dog at this Perfect Pet Rescue. So I called, and the woman's like, "Oh, that dog just got adopted." I was like, "Oh." So the owner called me back, and I said, "Do you know if they got her from the Burbank Pound?" I was just curious. And she said,
Yeah.
"No, I didn't." She goes, "But I have the perfect dog for you." And I was kind of laughing because I was like, "Are you trying to sell me, a second dog?" And she goes, "No." So she starts to tell me about Lukey, and she sends us a picture. And I show Kyle the picture that night. And, for the first time, he kind of perked up. So the next day I went and I was working in Burbank, and I drove all the way during my lunch hour to Venice, to West LA, to meet Lukey. And as you know, he worked hard to get my he was the best boy. And so, but I needed him to meet Pippa and meet the boys. So I literally gave the lady a check, and I said, "Do not adopt this dog to anybody. I'm coming back tonight. And, if it doesn't work out, keep the money." And we all came back that night, and it was love at first sight. So yeah.
And then Stephanie, when Lukey was saying that he senses you feel guilty about how he passed away, how did he pass away? Did I miss that part? Or
he was totally healthy, and then one night he just kept going out to go to the bathroom. He was so well trained that he wouldn't go in the house, but I could tell he couldn't go. So I brought him to the vet the next morning, and his bladder was completely filled up. And so we didn't know if maybe it was a prostate thing. So we did some tests, but from her x-rays, she felt like it was cancer that had metastasized to the lungs. So we waited to get an appointment with the oncologist. And so for the next few days, I was literally like helping him go to the bathroom, just like milking a cow to get him to go. And as soon as he would go, he would be kind of back to himself. But I knew that wasn't, that was painful and uncomfortable. And then we saw the oncologist, who confirmed that it was spread all throughout his little body. And that was like, she said that she told me he was tired and wanted to go. So it was very beautiful. We did it at the place I think I told you, on Sepulveda in the VCA, and they let us bring blankets and sit down, and Kyle and I sang to him as he went. So it was really emotional.
Isn't it interesting how we always blame ourselves? Like I've felt that way. I've talked to numerous people who've adopted from us who are like, "Oh, I feel like I could have done more near the end," but there's only so much we can do. There's only so much we can do in the face of a dog who's ready. And
yeah. And I promised him I wouldn't let him suffer. And even the rest of the family was kind of like, "Can we wait a few more days?" And I said, I made a promise to him that I wouldn't let him be in pain for our sake. So, but you just wonder, because I always said, "Oh, he's going to live till 19." Like, Nami said he had so much energy that it just felt like it would never stop. So, yeah.
He's lucky you were there to advocate for him, because it is hard to know the timing. Some dogs, I euthanize them too late, and I look back and I'm like, I did it 2 days too late.
Yeah. And they go down.
Why did I do that to that dog? It
happens so fast when it's happening. So
yeah. So I learned so much about Lukey today. I would have loved him.
You would have loved him. He was so smart and so sweet and so funny, and the whole package. And yes, Nami, he took care of all of us.
Yes. Busy mom. Yeah.
Yes. He was the boss, and we just all followed his lead. Yeah.
Nami, I wanted to ask you, because not every dog says they're going to come back. What do you think? Is it something that each dog just decides, or how does that work?
Yeah, they decide just like us too. Like, you know, we have a choice. You know, we have a choice to become like who you are when you come down on the earth. So it's the same thing when you go up there. They can decide if they wanted to come back or not. And yeah, free of a choice. And then some dogs will say, you know what, like I rather stay here and then wait for you, you know, kind of like at the door, at the gate, just to
Yeah.
welcome you. I want to be the greeter. And
Mhm.
some dogs say, no, 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 I need to come in back to help you because you
Yeah.
need me.
Yeah.
Some animals say, you know, like I have so much fun in the spirit world and then I can go places in a second. So I'm gonna enjoy here a little bit more. Yeah, so it's just it just depends. They decide to see when and then like how. They also, you know, some dogs have to go through like a soul learning, like a school. Some animals shows me the school. They have a school over there, and then they learn about, you know, everything about soul and reincarnation. They have to study. And I had a one dog mention to me that this dog passed away a little bit much younger, like 2 or 3. So he had to learn a little bit more just to make sure he doesn't mess up. Like he, you know, he needs to make sure to he reincarnate to the same person. So he had to go through the schooling. And he was with other dogs who are much older, also passed away. You know, couple months ago. Yeah, but this older dog was to make sure, like, I need to teach this dog just to make sure he reincarnates to the mom. He doesn't mess up this, you know, whole
I think I read that.
reincarnation process.
I think I read that story on your website, Nami.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, so they, you know, some dogs have to go through all that, but some are very, you know, more older soul, mature soul, they know how to get to their parents. So it's very interesting, you know,
Wait, I mean,
each animal is very different.
what was the name of that dog that reincarnated back to his mom?
There's so many, the one that
Okay.
reincarnates to mom.
I wanted to share it on the was it
There's so many dogs decide to reincarnate, but it's very interesting. You know, some dogs are very specific, like a time frame. Some dogs are very specific how they're going to look. Because I think I shared it with the my websites. One of the dog specifically mentioned they're going to. There's a 2 dogs who passed away transition, and I communicated both of them. They want to coming back, but they decide to merge their soul together to coming back one dog. So the one,
oh,
do you
okay.
remember the eye? Yes.
Yeah, I just put
Yes.
it in the comments if anyone wants to read some of Nami's communication case studies. Because there's just I remember reading about that and it was so touching.
Yes.
So okay, well this was great. Stephanie, how do you feel? Do you feel like did some of it not make sense or did any of it not resonate or
The only thing that was the chew stick, but then when she said the paws, I'm like, oh yeah, he totally licked his paws. So that made perfect sense. And you definitely spoke with my boy because the things he said to you were things that I just, you know, the way he would put me to sleep at night and would comfort all of us. Like, yeah, he was definitely. It's funny. I never really thought about him as being the caretaker, but you hit it in the head that he was the glue. Yeah. So.
wow, and he outed your husband with snoring.
I'm surprised he didn't out Pippa was snoring because she could saw some logs too.
Can. Oh my God. That's so funny. He sounds like he was such a sweet boy. So anyway, thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you. And
Thank you, Stephanie.
if anybody wants to get a raffle ticket, let me put that in the comments section. Sorry, I'm looking for the raffle ticket link. I'll put that in the comments if anyone wants to buy a raffle ticket for a chance to win. an animal communication with Nami. And we, once your raffle tickets are in the jar, they're in there, you know, until, I mean, we're doing this every month. Oh, and then next month's winner is already Nami. You spoke to her last night.
Yes, she sent me. She submitted the
Oh, good.
the questionnaire. Yes.
Okay.
Stacy, yes. So I have to take a look and I have to send her.
So we already know who's the raffle winner for April, who's going to get their reading in April. And then when we do the raffle, I mean, when we do that reading, we'll pull another name from the jar. So, but if anyone wants to buy a raffle ticket, I just put the link in the comments. And then coming up next, Nami, guess who we're going to have you talk to? Our boy Apollo. Yay! So Stephanie, I'm gonna take you off screen. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome to watch from the green room, from the waiting room, or you can watch on Instagram or
everybody's
here. Everybody's here.
Oh, yeah. Hi everyone. Hi, Golden.
Stephanie. Bye. So Nami, you did
Apollo. Yes, that's right.
Communicating to Apollo since May.
That's right. Oh my god.
Do you want to let me see if I can pull his photos up. Do you want to tell everyone quickly what? So I'll explain to anyone who doesn't know Apollo's story. I had seen Apollo his shelter photo. I had seen it on let me pull it up here. I had seen his shelter photo. Here it is. I'm going to put it on the screen. I'd seen his shelter photo online, and our rescue partners in South Korea, Rachel, who runs Cocker Friends Korea, I had seen she had posted his shelter photo. That was the photo of where animal control had found him. He couldn't stand up or walk because his fur had mummified his legs. And he was basically found in a ditch. So I contacted Rachel from Cocker Friends Korea and told her that if she was willing to go rescue him from the shelter, that we would fundraise and sponsor everything, because we didn't know what was under all the matted hair. And so that was at the end of May of 2024. And he had when they had let me pull up some more pictures here. When they had they got him to the vet, and they had to sedate him and shave him down, and underneath they found that his fur on his rear ankles had I'm trying to pull up the pictures. Let me see. I'll pull them up on my phone. The fur around his rear legs and his ankles had wrapped so tightly that the circulation was cut off, and there was the skin was going necrotic from no blood flow, and then there was bone showing, and he also had a heartworm, but he had so much heartworm it was called Caval syndrome. Am I saying it wrong, Nami?
Caval syndrome.
Caval syndrome. Yes. Yeah. So this was I'll hold that up. That's when they were trying to shave him down the day they got him. And oh my God, his little face. So this was the day they got him from the shelter. The vet was there shaving him, and then they put him in a heater because he was so skinny. And he had wounds on the top of his head. There was maggots crawling out of the wounds on top of it. He has scars now to show it. And then this wire was wrapped around his neck under all the fur. That looks like some sort of coax cable. So yeah, that was the first day they got him. And I remember he really wasn't able to eat because he had been starved for so long. I think they had to do a feeding tube, and he couldn't stand up either. And I remember the vet. Oh, there's the graphic photos. I won't show the graphic photos, the bone showing. People don't want to see that. But basically, so both of his rear legs had to be wrapped and bandaged, and they were making daily trips to the vet to try and get the skin to grow back in. With Nami, you're a vet tech, so you can understand that more. Can you explain what happens when the skin is necrotic and bone is showing?
Yes, so it's a long way of, you have to be really on top of everything just to make sure to prevent from any secondary infections. You have to keep area really, really clean. And then just because there's so much of necrotic tissue, what they have to do, they have to kind of debride it to clean up all the dead tissue and then bring the healthy tissue. It looks worse at first, just because you need to bring all the blood circulation to cut it, just to make sure the healthy tissue in the blood vessel exports. And then you have to be constantly changing it, a bandage. So that's why the Rachel has to go through all the hard work, making sure it doesn't get wet, because that's going to create more infections, secondary infections. So she had to make sure clean and then change the bandage frequently. It's a lot of work to do, but basically you just need to constantly cleaning to help the healthy tissue skin layer to come back to glow. So it takes I think it took like a 2-3 month.
Yeah,
but it's a long process. And I remember he also had
on his butt he had this wound, but I don't even, what was that? It looked like something had entered, like a,
that's the Asian born. It's pretty common for a dog. It kind of a bit sore when they're not able to move too long, and they stayed on the one side. So he basically couldn't move and stuck in the ditch for who knows how long, right?
And he couldn't walk anymore because the fur had modified his legs, so he couldn't even.
Right, so he had no muscle. So muscle was all atrophy. So basically the bone was just touching on the ground. So that's how, he became, he created the sore there. So that's that bone exporters coming from.
And this was him standing up, trying, he started standing up and walking after a few, like maybe 5 or 6 days in the hospital, but he had those bandages on his butt and his that poor little dude. But then the heartworm was the scary part, because they said because of his Cabal syndrome, they didn't know if he was going to survive heartworm surgery. And we said, well, we'll just raise the money and pay for it, and if he doesn't survive the surgery, at least we tried, right? So this was the vet doing surgery. That was Apollo on the OR table, and they had to wake him up because his heart was not doing well, and I think he was only under anesthesia for maybe an hour before they had to wake him up. And then at that point, the only thing left, the only choice was to do the heartworm injection treatment, which, so the heartworm injection treatment, I'll just explain it.
Yeah, sorry.
Nami's got a bunch of Camp Cocker dogs there. I hear Hershey and Violet.
Okay, yeah, that was Hershey and Nikki.
Oh, it was Nikki. I thought it was Violet. So anyway, so basically, Nikki, Hershey. So basically, what the veterinarians in South Korea said is, the only choice left was to try the heartworm injection treatment, which even on a dog that only has a few heartworms, is pretty hard and risky. And a dog that has Cabal syndrome, which is the the right side of his heart ventricle was full of heartworms, right, Nami? Like that's what
Mhm.
like packed. So the risk in doing the heartworm injection treatment is that the injection kills the heartworms, and as they're wiggling and dying and moving through the body, there could be a blood clot and he could have instant death.
Mhm.
So we were like, well, we'll try it. I really cannot believe this dog is alive, honestly. And so he had 3 heartworm injections. And after one of the injections, I remember the next day he was struggling to breathe and he had to go back to the hospital and be on oxygen. And then I was like, okay, this is it. We're about to lose him. And he came through. I can't believe it. But Nami, can you share with everyone that first communication you had with him? Because we were on the phone, you, myself, and Rachel, his rescuer, and it was like a few days after he'd been rescued and was in the hospital, and we were trying to decide whether to euthanize or not. Can you share what that communication was like?
Yes, I remember because we knew how it looked and how blood work shows, and he was not eating, he was emaciating, he had all kinds of complications. So from that point, from humans' perspective, we will think that in our brain, we'll think it may be better off to humanely let him go just because he was suffering so much. However, when I communicated with him, it was very clear that he wanted to keep going. It was very a shock to me because the way how he looked, it was really terrible. And the condition, we're not sure how he's going to survive because he was in a critical condition for a long time. But he had a strong will that no, I wanted to keep going. Like I feel like I can keep going. And then he keeps telling me, I'm okay. I wanted to try just because he wanted to enjoy life again. And he just really trusted the people so much. And he said, I want to try. So he gave me the strong feeling of it. And thanks to you, Kathy, and then Rachel.
Yes.
We both believed in him and then trust his gut. And he said, we all said, all right, if he said he wants to survive, let's give it a try. So that's how his journey started. But it was just amazing.
He's wiggly. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy.
Yes.
He's so that's why I'm trying to get on the dog bed.
Oh,
come here, buddy. Come here, sweetie.
yes.
So anyway, so Nami, so we have adopters for Apollo saw a cardiologist about 6 weeks ago, and he was they didn't see any heartworms. Oh, look, he wants to go. Lady is here. And her food is out, and he wants the food.
Oh, he's such a foodie.
Apollo, come here, bud. So anyway, and then Apollo had his heartworm test last week, and it came back negative, which is great news. And he has adopters waiting to meet him in mid-April, and they sent a list of questions. And his future dog mama Christiana is going to join us. And we're going to go through all the questions that she and her husband sent that I wanted you to ask Apollo about. And you're gonna tell us what Apollo said. So I'm gonna bring Christiana on. All right, Apollo. He's so focused on Lady Bell's food. This isn't very. Look at him.
Look at his tail.
He wants the food.
Hi, Christina.
Hi, Christina. Apollo, come say hi to your mama.
Oh,
Apollo. So anyway, hi, Christiana.
Hi, Christiana. Nice meeting you.
We're excited for Apollo to start his new life with you. So, Nami, do you want to go through all the questions that Christiana sent?
Yes, let's see. What did I just go over everything or just some questions?
Oh, Christiana's mic is muted. I think I need to move
Sorry
Apollo.
about that.
No worries, I can hear you now.
I'm gonna move because Apollo is wanting to get ladies' food, so I'm gonna move myself. Christiana and her husband sent a bunch of questions. So Nami, Apollo, come here, buddy. Come here, sweetie. Nami, you want to go over them and tell everyone?
Yes. So
Thank you.
yes, of course. Yeah. So I'll go over with you to see what he shared and how our conversation went. So okay, here we go. So this is how many times I have communicated with my Polo. So it was very a lot, right?
Right.
So it was very easy connection. Always, he's just always friendly. So as I turn into him, he again, the little tiny tail, he wagged his tail, and he stretched his front leg, and then he said like hi. He greeted me. So I asked him, Polo, how are you doing? And I told him, we found you. You are new forever mom and dad, and the dog siblings. Yeah. So when I do explain, I always visualize. So the Christiana, you already sent me a picture of your family members, so I visualize them as I talk to him. And I said they are going to love and care for you forever. Then I said, even they have a message for you. And he wagged his tail in response. He said he loves meeting new people. He really enjoys getting attention from people. Then I said, your new mom and dad want you to know that they already love you so much, and their whole family loves you. Mom, friends, and sister, even her sister's husband, where you will, someday stay. You are all already cherished, I said. And as I spoke, I visualized their faces for him. And the mom and dad want you to know that they will be your forever family. If you choose them, you will no longer have to wait for another home. And I said you can simply come and relax and settle in and enjoy your new family, knowing that they will never let anyone hurt you again. They just want you to enjoy your life, be yourself, and have a good life. There is nothing you could do that make them give you away. So you don't need to worry. Just know that you will always be loved, well cared for, and protected, and part of the family. It is peaceful and beautiful there. And he said he trusts people because they have helped him so much. He says he doesn't dwell on the bad things from his past anymore. He's living in the moment. He said instead, he only looks for a good in life. What a good boy, right? He's like, he's a very good boy. He's like, I only look for a good in life. He said as long as they greet him every day, pet him, give him yummy food, he will be happy. He would love to go outside to sniff and explore, and which is one of his favorite things to do. So then I show him image of a place because Christiana, you sent me a picture of your house and places. So I sent him an image of the place where he will go for walks. And then I said there will be a little river where they fish and even a waterfall. It's not a difficult walk, just beautiful. And he he wagged his tail. He said he likes that. He said that he isn't a fan of water, especially like getting wet, but he enjoys watching things moving in the water. He said he's very, likes to do that. He mentioned that he would kind of keep his distance from the water until he feels familiar with it. He absolutely loves sniffing trees and on the ground. He said he's a sniffer. Then I introduced doggy friends that you sent me by visualizing them. Mom's sister's dog, Percy, right? And then also Lago, and then Boggy, right?
Yes, Bogey.
Yes, Boggy, yes, yes. Boggy is a happy Boggy. Yes, and they said there will be a new brother. I explained to him that the Percy is 12 years old, very mellow, love to lounge at the people's feet. Lago has a new brother, he's getting older, he's super mellow and enjoying curling up in his bed and watching mom and dad. And I said Apollo will have a bed next to him and is allowed on any couch or bed in the house. He said he wagged his tail again, his happy tail, said that he prefers easygoing dogs over young and hyper dogs. And I know Boggy can be a little hyper, right? He's a younger. Yes.
Yeah, he has a lot of energy.
Yes.
But he's mellowing out. He's mellowing out.
Yeah, but he said he can get along with everyone. So he's fine with that. Is it true, Kathy? He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right, with everyone.
He tolerates a lot of nonsense around here. There's like foster dogs coming and going, and he tolerates it all.
Right, he's very good, right? So then I asked him, is there anything you want to tell them? And I told him that you will be getting on the airplane just like when you travel from Rachel to Kathy. Are you okay with that? He says yes. He would like to go potty first before getting inside. He says he wants to make sure he's all emptied. He also mentions that he gets a little bit cold when he get into the plane, so he would like to have a nice blanket underneath him.
And a sweater. I'll make sure he's wearing one of his nice sweaters.
Yes, that would be perfect. Overall, he said he's very, very excited to meet his new family. He said he's very excited. He says he's going to miss Kathy and his doggy friends, but he said he always knew this house, the Kathy's house, was a temporality. He just knew. He hopes to see them again someday, he said, but he loves people, and because everyone has made him feel better, so he's very excited to meet his new family. And I also asked, I heard you still have some mild sensitivity.
Right.
He still does. Yes, Kathy?
Well, see, the thing is, he had been in a foster home for a few weeks, and twice, both times it happened on a walk. One time he picked up, there was like a little bite-sized Halloween candy looking chocolate bar, like the little snack size, and he had it in his mouth, and his foster mom tried to take it out, and he tried to bite her. I think he scraped her skin. And then the second time it happened, his foster dad was walking him, and he picked up a stick on his walk, and the stick was like stuck, and there was a little blood coming out. So his foster dad tried to take the stick out, and he actually got punctured. So Paulo does not like, the rule here at my house is if he's got it in his mouth, don't take it out. Try to maybe trade him up for like a treat or something. But so far he hasn't picked up anything in his mouth at my house. Right. So I haven't been faced with that situation. And it's also interesting because I've got toys everywhere, but he hasn't picked up any toys to like, he defers to the other dogs. Like if another dog wants his toy, so I don't know. I haven't figured out what it is. Maybe it's Maybe it's finding prizes out on walks, like prized stuff.
Yes. So he says, then I said, about the month sensitivity, and then is there anything that you would like them to know about it? He said he's very excited to meet them again. He's very excited. He said he would love to sleep on the bed or the couch, anywhere he can jump up. Like, he really likes that, he says. He says he's very strong, and he's very proud of that, because he remembers that he knows I remember how he was weak, so he wanted to kind of show off that, like, I'm strong, like I can I can jump on the couch. So he said he likes to sleep on that area, he says. He says he prefer a very round, big, soft bed. He doesn't like a bed that are too flat or hard on the floor. He instead, he enjoys the bed that feels like they kind of hug, kind of spoon him, making him feel safe and then, nice and warm, he says. He says he prefers soft treats over hard ones. He doesn't like hard cookies. Do you is it true? Or have you noticed? I mean, he's a foodie for sure.
Yeah.
But he has a preference.
Yeah, because I don't really have hard dog treats.
The dog treats
I have here are usually like, my dogs like the Fresh Pet soft treats. They look like little hot dogs.
Yeah.
But I think it's chicken. But the dogs love them, and Apollo loves them, so they're soft.
Yes, so he likes anything soft meat, he says. He also mentioned that he's very patient when waiting for a treat, and that he's really demanding. He's pretty good.
Oh my God, he's such a good boy. Here, let me just show you real quick. I took a video. Elsa, I'm trying to stream. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Here's him sitting so nicely. Oh, wait. Look how nicely he's sitting for the treats.
Oh.
Waiting his turn. See him in the back there.
Such a sweet baby.
He's a good boy. So he's so patient. Yeah, he waits his turn.
Yes. He says he'll be happy as long as he gets to be close to people and is greeted every day. He doesn't like being ignored when he wags his tail and smiles. So that's all he asked for, he says. He said he would like to have his own toy. So here's the thing, Kathy. So he specifically asked for his own toy. He doesn't want to take his brother's toy because he doesn't like any conflict.
Okay. So maybe maybe I can buy him some new toys and send and he can travel with those.
He said oh, everybody's going cuckoo. We are all it's all good. Okay, Kathy, are you there? Let's see. Okay, there you go. Oh, you muted. Okay, so Christian, I'm gonna go over with the other thing he shared.
Okay.
So
Thank
he also
you.
says, yes, of course. He also said he enjoys a peaceful home environment. And I really felt like it's going to be perfect. He's very excited with your home. He says when he plays, he can be a little bit playful and goofy. And he can get a little bit mouthy, like, oh, wow. He's not going to try to bite or anything, but he said, oh, wow, wow. Like, he gets a little mouthy. That's how he likes to play.
He does. Even when he rolls over on his back for belly rubs, his mouth is going like this, like a puppy would.
Yes. So he kind of like a nibbles, right? So
he's mouthy.
Yeah, so he said he doesn't mind people touching his mouth, true. Like when he's like, oh, well, like he's
Yeah.
okay with that. Yes, right?
Yeah.
So he says because his mouth isn't actually very sensitive. It's not painful and it's sensitive. He says he just doesn't like it when people move too fast to grab things from his mouth and
Okay.
in front of him. So it's more how he's explained to me is that it's just the movement that it startled him.
Okay.
And he says it triggering memories from his past. And it kind of like it's just that's how he reacts
Okay.
without thinking. So, however, if people let him know that they're going to take something away slowly, then he said he'll be fine.
Okay,
So,
that's good to know.
so what? So because it's not really a resource guard. It's just more of the movements. It kind of triggers, and then he just instantly acts. So he said, as long as you go slow and then let him know that you're gonna take out from his mouth, and he said he'll be fine. But whatever you're doing, Kathy, right now, that you said like a treat with, trade with something else, like a treat, that might be the safe way to approach him. Just because it's just the movement.
Yeah.
Coming really close to his face fast to grab it, that kind of trigger him.
Yeah, so like I said, I haven't witnessed him trying to snap or bite since he's been at my house, but that makes sense that it's in both of those situations with his former foster home, they were both reacting quickly because they were scared.
Yeah, that's what we do, right? Of course.
They were like quick because they're like, that's dangerous, Apollo. So I can see where their rapid movement triggered him.
Kind of triggers him. Yeah. So without thinking. So he remembers he's saying that, he felt bad because he never ever tried to hurt people, but it's just react, the kind of instinct, like this body react. So so he said, as long as, let him know that you're going to take something away from his mouth, and then go slow with him, and he said fine. Just because, like the way, Kathy, you also mentioned, but he said he gets mouthy, like he really likes to play with the hand. So it's nothing really to do with the mouth sensitivity. He's okay people touching his mouth when he's playing, when he's goofy. But it's just that when the moment when he has something in the mouth, and then you try to fast move, quick move.
So anyway, so maybe Christiana, when you have him out on walks, you could have some treats in your pocket in case you're in a situation where you've got to trade him.
Yes.
Yes.
And we definitely learned that with Bogey. So we definitely learned that you have to, well, and he would also catch a scent, especially in the backyard. We still had animals who would enter the backyard because we joked that they had an agreement with Lago, all the squirrels and the bunnies and everybody, that he would just go out and lay there and watch them all. And squirrels would even leave little treats for him on our back door.
So sweet.
Bogey came and destroyed all of that, and they learned pretty quickly that he was just going to chase them out of the yard as fast as he could. So a lot of times, if we had one in the yard that he was getting at, that I would come down with the treats in his face, just kind of putting it in his nose and trying to break him away from it. And Bogey was super prey driven. So some of that started to break him away, but we also learned that if he finds something that he thinks he wants to eat but isn't good for him, I think it's that street dog instinct where he thinks, I found this and this is mine and I'm not giving it up. So we've just learned to kind of show him something that we know he wants more than whatever it is that he got, and he'll put that down and go for it, and we have to very quickly snag the other, or he'll go after it too. And he kind of looks at us like, wait a minute, that was mine. But
oh my God, I didn't know that he had like the guarding issues, but it sounds like you really are savvy and know what to do.
Yes, yeah. Well, he's he's worth it. They're worth it. And I think it's understanding, kind of where their instincts are. And we joke around that he's definitely become a domesticated dog. He was a little wild when we got him, but he's definitely settled in. He spends a lot of time with us and snuggling up with us. And initially I felt like we almost had to give him permission that he was allowed to be in the house. Where Lago is very much a homebody, home dog, and he goes outside to visit but comes back in. And Bogey he just likes to sit at the back door. I think he thinks it's his job to just make sure that everything in the yard is as it should be. But he will come in and spend a lot more time inside than outside now, which is good.
I didn't realize that Bogey had changed the ecosystem of your yard.
I think at first even Lago kept looking at him like, come on, we have an agreement. They're allowed.
He displaced all the critters.
He did.
So anyway, and then Cristiana, you said in an email that your husband has a song.
He does.
That he sings for the dogs, and now he's gonna include Apollo in his song.
Yes. So we want them to
amazing.
get used to we want them to get used to hearing Apollo's name. So we keep talking about him and asking, where's Apollo? Is Apollo? And we do that. We also have a forest ranger lives on the back side of our property, on the other side of the fence is his property. And he has 2 dogs, Hogue and Sprite, and they will come out. And so we'll say their names, like, they're outside. So they'll go dashing out to go see them. And so we're trying to get them used to it in the same way of anticipating, Apollo coming. But yes, it's kind of our morning song. We'll get up and we have this big kind of getting ready to get downstairs and get the day on and get breakfast going. But it's I'm not a good singer, so I'm not going to sing it.
Oh, that's okay. Me either.
He's such a big personality, and he makes up goofy songs all the time. He changes the words, but this one is Lago loves Bogey, and Bogey loves Lago, and it goes on and on and on. And they start dancing around because I think they like to be sung to and hear their names. So
I know. I think a lot of us sing to our dogs, and we can't keep a tune. And the dogs they don't care.
Yes, so my husband brings all the energy, but it is very peaceful house. I was kind of worried it might be too peaceful for him, so I'm glad that that's what he's looking for.
Yes.
We're so excited. And then
are we?
You mentioned you might do an Instagram account for Apollo because he has so many fans, so many.
Yes, and I absolutely understand. My brother-in-law is going to actually help me with the whole thing because he's very social media oriented and runs all of that. But I would want to know, how Apollo is doing.
He's got a big village of people.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when he was in his recoveries, and I'd wake up in the middle of the night and go in and check on him. And I know I'm not the only one who is sending all those loves and prayers.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all these messages. So many people. So many people loved Apollo. So anyway, okay. So this is I think we're ready to wrap this up. This was a long Nami, you gave us almost 2 hours of your time. Thank you.
Oh no, well, thank you for having me, and I'm very excited for Apollo.
Yeah,
I haven't met him in person, but I feel like I know him.
Yeah.
Level.
You know what, Nami? I was going to ask you. So when Apollo came to my house, he marked a few times, and then I put a belly band on him for like 5 days, and then I took the belly band off and the marking stopped, and I thought he was good. And then Spencer came here, there's Spencer, and the marking started again, and I was putting a belly band on Spencer because I thought it was Spencer. And yesterday I witnessed Apollo lifting his leg and marking. So I've been blaming Spencer. So,
Yes.
so I think when he goes to your house, Christiana, maybe he needs to wear a belly band for the first week or so until I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
new dogs just want to mark so their scent is somewhere, and then they stop at
Yeah.
some point.
Yeah, because I do remember that was one of the questions Rachel had when she was photoing Apollo.
Yeah.
And I remember he said, yeah, because Rachel said, can you stop peeing on the by the
legs of
chairs or chairs, right? And I remember he says that he only does it when the new dogs coming in, or when he just needs to kind of mark himself once he knows this is his place, and he will stop it. And I remember Rachel say, yes, that's true. Like he doesn't always do it, but it's always when the new dogs come in for a couple of days. So
I think when Spencer came here,
so when they're visitors, maybe it will be safe to put the belly bands for a day or so. That's how I do is actually Hershey. Every time when the new dogs, like a visitor, like friends dogs come over, just the first day I have to, day one, just need to put the belly bands just to make sure he doesn't mark it.
Yeah.
But just he likes to do it. So, but other than that, he's good.
Poor Spencer's been getting blamed.
Poor Spencer. Poor Spencer.
Buddy.
Apollo.
Sorry. Okay, so all right, so thank you so much. Apollo, do you want to say goodbye? Okay, he's just stalking Lady Belle's food. Here he is.
Oh,
baby.
He's
look, he's looking at her food. Like,
oh,
I want that food.
Yes, but he's such a good boy. Like he's so thoughtful.
He wants her food.
But he's not demanding. Like he's very quiet, polite.
He's just looking at it. He's looking and wagging his tail. I don't know if you can see his tail wagging.
Yeah.
I see him.
He doesn't want it.
Look what he's looking at. He's looking at her plate of food. Hello. You're so transparent. You know exactly what you want.
Yes.
Scars on the back of his head.
Yes.
No, and they're on his ankles as well. So the scars just tell his story.
Yes.
Sure do.
Yeah. Just like humans.
Yeah.
We all have a story to tell. And some of us have scars on the outside like Apollo. And some of us have them on the inside, but his are on the outside so he can tell his story.
Yes.
So anyway, thank you so much, Nami.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much,
everyone, for watching. And we'll keep everyone updated when Apollo meets his adopters. And I'm sure if there's an Instagram, we'll share that.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.